think the first thing you have to do with any new person who you're introducing to an activity is really talk to them and explain to them what is going to happen next, but also to listen to see what they already know about the activity and what knowledge they bring to the activity. You can't always presume that they have seen or know or understand what running is. So it's very important at the start of the activity to again discuss and communicate, but also explain the body movements and which body parts should be moving and when. It's very easy to think that someone can know what running is. However, important to discuss what running actually is and how the movements of the body should fit together. The next thing you would do would be talk about the types of holds and grips you can use when guide running. The first grip you would probably introduce to the majority of children or young people learning to run is the elbow grip. And that involves the young person just with their fingers pincing the elbow of the guide, keeping them close into the body to give that physical feedback, but also to establish trust and for them to feel comfortable when they're beginning to move. Some people prefer to be using their left hand to hold on to their guider, others prefer their right. It really comes down to individual and what they feel comfortable with and safe with. The next grip you would introduce once confidence has been built and the young person's ready to move on is the tethered grip. And a tether is used once the runners become more confident and much more able to run faster at pace. The tether is a sweatband tied in the middle to make a figure of 8, which leaves 2 loops, one loop for the runner and one loop for the guide runner. With a tether, it's really flexible how you can use it. Some people prefer to put it around the wrist, other people prefer to just hold it tight between their fingers. If you hold it tight between your fingers, some people get a lot more feedback from that, particularly visually impaired people who can have much more sensitive fingers, and with more sensitivity and more feedback, that often helps them perform better and feel more comfortable when running. The advantages of using a tether is that the runner can now run at a faster pace, but also can feel confident that they're supported and will still stay safe as they're running down the track. However, when you increase the pace, make sure that you're always giving feedback to make sure that the technique and the movement patterns are the same at the faster pace than at the slower pace. Communication is fundamental to achieving a good running pattern, but also that support and trust between the runner and the guide. With anybody running, everyone has a natural rhythm and a natural movement pattern. The guider should always move in time with the runner's action. That will be different for anybody when they're running. It's important that the guider goes with how the runner has established this naturally, rather than the runner trying to equal and match the guider's action. It's important for the guide to be in charge for safety, but in order to be successful in guide running, the guider must really listen to the VIP. It's really important to establish their rhythms when running, their preferences, and also if they're hesitant about anything, you need to be sensitive to that, slow down the pace and work with how they feel comfortable and at their comfortable working pace. Giving feedback and listening to feedback is extremely important. Feedback from the guide runner to the young person, knowing how to improve or anything that needs to get better at, but also for the guide to be aware of feedback from the runner, how their body's feeling, what their movement is like, what their technique is like, and working with them and being cooperative in the body movements with them. Running can be a really scary thing for some children or people with a visual impairment. For us, we're used to moving and seeing where we're going, what direction we're moving in, or if anything's coming towards us. We have to remember as a guide that the runner will have the fear of not knowing where they're going and may have that hesitance that they will be bashed or run into something. So we should always be aware of that and communicate and keep them calm at all times, and again building on that trust. So remember, don't assume the runner has prior knowledge of the activity. Discuss what you're about to do. Listen to the runner and how they're feeling throughout. Start slow and gradually build up the movement pace. Respond to the runner's style.